morning, I'm Sean Yao and this is One News Now. President Rodrigo Duterte warned lawmakers not to drag his name in their tussle over power. In a surprise address last night, the chief executive pointed out that in the future, people will only refer to present times as the Duterte administration, regardless of who ends up taking the House speakership. He also reminded lawmakers that the country is still currently grappling with a major health and economic crisis, which requires a carefully planned national budget to overcome. Recall that the House of Representatives is currently under fire for suspending session before they can transmit the GAB or General Appropriations Bill to the upper house. Senators say the budget timeline is on the verge of getting delayed for a month, since the lower chamber failed to pass it on third and final reading on October 17, in accordance with the calendar approved by both chambers of the House.
Pakiusap ko, ayusin ninyo at isipin ninyo ang Pilipino na nasa ospital ngayon ang kailangan ng medisina at yung mga Pilipinong mamamatay ngayon. Pero wag naman sana ninyong sobrahan ang laro sa Congress na yung budget mismo ang nalagay sa alanganin.
Duterte went so far as to warn lawmakers that if they fail to resolve their impasse and pass a budget that will satisfy the country's needs, then he will solve their problem for them.
I am not going to give a timeline. Hindi mga diktador lang gumagawa ng ganon. Gusto ko na ayusin ninyo. If and when I see that there will be a delay and it will result in the derailment of government service, I said, solve the problem for you.
And immediately after President Duterte's speech last night, House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano took to Facebook to assure the President and the public that despite the noise, the 2021 budget will be passed on time. Cayetano also apologized to the nation for, quote, adding anxiety to an already uncertain situation. He added that the House will submit the printed GAB to the Senate on November 5, so that senators can proceed with their hearings even before the formal transmittal on November 16. In an interview with 1PH's Sa Totoo Lang, Cavite Congressman Elpidio Barzaga expressed optimism that despite these hiccups, the budget will be passed and signed by the President before the end of the year. Barzaga said no one wants another reenacted budget for next year, since the current budget contains no provisions that will address the country's post-pandemic recovery plan.
Wala na mo ng political bickerings, wala mo ng finger-pointing. We assure you, Mr. President, that in spite of all this situation, we can finish the budget on time for the welfare of our people.
And a total of 43 Philhealth officials have opted to retire or resign from their posts. This is after a memorandum from Philhealth President Gierran calling for the resignation of all officials holding salary grade 26 and above. The state insurer reports that 27 senior officers have tendered their resignation, while 16 others opted for early retirement as of last night. Among those who resigned are 21 officers from the central office in Manila, while 6 were from regional offices. Gierran said his memorandum is in accordance with President Duterte's directive to cleanse Philhealth of corrupt practices. And for the mass resignation and retirement, there were 66 Philhealth executives holding positions with SG 26 and higher. Pausing for a quick break, but back with more stories after that. Keep it here on One News. are still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Commuters are set to receive free beep cards starting today, in line with President Duterte's marching orders to not charge passengers extra just so they can comply with the directive for cashless transactions. To tell us how this is going, Jenny Dongon joins us live from Monumento. Jenny, what's the latest?
Sean, right now, the staff of beep card provider AF Payment are preparing the beep cards to be distributed to commuters for free. The LTFRB emphasized that PUV operators and AFCS providers should not charge passengers for the purchase or use of contactless cards. Recall that passengers complained that they were required to pay 180 pesos for each beep card, 100 for the card itself, and 80 for the initial load. But President Duterte made it clear that beep cards must be given to commuters for free. AF Payment is set to give away 125,000 free beep cards today to EDSA busway commuters to alleviate the financial hardships the commuter face daily amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Sean, the policy aims to go cashless to minimize physical contact between the service providers and the passengers. Sean.
Right, Jenny, how many beep cards have they distributed so far? Have you actually seen anyone getting beep cards, and how are they doing that?
Yes, right now, Sean, the staff of the AF Payment are starting to give the beep card to commuters here. Actually, they are estimated to distribute 2,000 beep card here in Monumento alone. But according to AF Payment, they will distribute a total of 125,000 beep card. All you have to do is to fill up this form that the AF staff will be given to you. And after that, you will present your ID and you will receive the beep card for free. Sean.
Right, thank you very much for that update from Monumento. That was Jenny Dongon of News 5 joining us live. And the Transportation Department is eyeing to expand the usage of beep cards to include air and sea travel. In an interview with 1PH, DOTr senior consultant Bert Swansing said commuters should be able to pay for all major modes of travel using their beep cards. Swansing said the department also wants increased interoperability for RFID. He said holders of SMC RFIDs can now register with the MPIC so that their auto sweep stickers will also be honored in NLEX and other Metro Pacific tollways. Swansing adds they're currently working on Phase 2 of interoperability, where MPIC Easy Trip RFID holders can register theirs to be recognized at SMC expressways. The official said they're hopeful that the service could be available by the end of the year. And PBA is back on Sunday, and ESPN lists down 5 potentially explosive face-offs that could take place once the PBA resumes its bubble games in Clark. First, we have TNT fielding in JP Aram alongside the likes of Jason Castro and RR Pogoy to complete a championship material lineup. But on October 13, Tuesday, they will be facing a Terra Firma squad which will parade 2 straight #1 picks in CJ Perez and Roosevelt Adams. Of course, we also have the eternally emotional matchup between Magnolia Hotshots and Barangay Ginebra, which is now aptly dubbed as Clark Clasico. Other much-anticipated duels include TNT versus NLEX, where Aram will be facing his old team. The so-called sister act between the San Miguel Beermen and the Barangay Ginebra, as well as the October 31 outing of Rain or Shine against Phoenix, who may or may not be fielding the Beast, Calvin Abueva. Our favorite basketball league is set to return, so catch the PBA Bubble Games live on TV5 every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and on One Sports and PBA Rush daily starting October 11. Games are also seen live via Facebook and YouTube live stream, Radyo 5, and Signal Play. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.